On behalf of our football program, I'd like to offer our condolences to the family of the fallen officer and the entire Texas Tech Police Department. We obviously work closely with those guys at Texas Tech PD, and it's a tough situation for everybody involved. We greatly appreciate the immediate response and communication from our university and all the law enforcement agencies involved that allowed us to be safe. And I don't have any further details than what has been reported. Our university will have a press conference at 3 p.m. today at the USA to cover that. But once again, our thoughts and prayers are with the victim's family at this time.
What were you doing at the time when you heard about the shooting? Also, what's kind of the protocol to make sure all the athletes are safe and hopefully home, if not they're on campus? Is there anything you do?
Yeah, I mean, we are in close contact with our players. As position coaches, we have Team Works, which sends out immediate text to everybody. Every student on this campus, worker on this campus, received an immediate email of the situation. And so as quickly as it could be sorted out, it was, and all of our players were safe. And we'll take questions now.
Coach, when you look at what West Virginia's done on offense, particularly with Will Grier and how much they've thrown it down the field, I guess how different does it kind of look this year with Jake obviously running offense now?
Yeah, it's different. They played to their strengths the last couple of years. Their previous quarterback was a tough kid, gamer, could run around. They ran him more, ran the football, and now they have a guy who's a very talented passer. They have some talented receivers, and Jake's throwing it around a little bit more. But Will Grier is a very good player. They've done a good job playing to his strengths, and he's elusive, can extend plays, can make first downs with his feet. So we'll have our hands full trying to contain him.
What do you think's made David Sills, who's their leading receiver, a guy that was a quarterback in high school and pretty highly recruited, what do you think's made him be able to make that transition and be such a good receiver so far?
Yeah, he's obviously worked very hard. I mean, we've watched him the last 3 years, and he's just got better each year. I think playing quarterback, he understands the system. He understands where to be and when to be there, and then you can tell he's worked his technique. He's a dynamic athlete for being that big. He moves better than you think, and will go up and high point the ball.
Obviously, those 11 o'clock kicks can be challenging, but you guys 21 points in the first quarter against Kansas. How do you look to, I guess, kind of just replicate that type of fast start this weekend?
Yeah, we've embraced it. You know, Houston was the same way, and we're going to have another one coming up. So that's what it is. You get in and get it started early and come out firing. And this team has really taken on that mentality of getting up and getting ready to go to business. And so I don't think it is a worry for any of us anymore, the way they've attacked the previous two.
Could it be a little bit of a benefit now since you have a couple more coming up and you guys had already kind of gotten that routine down?
I think so. Like I said, I really like the mentality. They've had great energy in the locker room, in the meetings prior. Everything has been wide awake and ready to get after it. And that's a credit to our team and our team's leadership.
What is the wake-up call, about 6 or 6:30?
It is around 6:30 a.m. and comes pretty quickly. Last week we had about a 40-minute bus ride, and this week about a 40-minute bus ride to the stadium. So they're up a little earlier than normal.
And y'all's lights out or bed
Around 9:30.
Coach, what makes Tony Gibson just have so much success on defense there for West Virginia?
Yeah, he's just done a tremendous job, not only schematically but recruiting to his scheme. I mean, you look at the past 3 or 4 years, how many of those guys have gone on to play in the NFL. I mean, it's a huge number when you're talking about linebackers and safeties and corners. And so that's a credit to him and what he does. And they believe it. You can see his identity is tough physical football. They get their hands all over you. They're coming downhill. And if you're not ready to play, they'll get after you.
Is there anything schematically that he does or they do to go against spreads?
I think, they take away a lot of the easier intermediate throws. That's where they're dropping all their players, and so you got to be able to beat them over the top or run the football well. And last year we got into a deal where we were down early, and they made us one-dimensional, and that's what they want to do. So we can't allow that to happen again this year. We got to start fast. We got to be able to establish a run game at some point and play better. But when they get you in that one-dimensional mode and you're having to throw it, that's playing it right into their hands.
With how good Crawford is it tell back how explosive he is, and like I said, how much they throw it over the top. How much does what they do mirror Oklahoma State at all, or do they do it kind of in a different way?
You know, you see some similarities in some of the pass concepts, some of the Baylor stuff, riding the ball down in there and then throwing it over the top. But anytime you can establish a running game with a guy like that, the pass game is going to open up, and they've done a good job mixing it up. Jake puts his wrinkles on it each week, new stuff you haven't seen, and they just got it rolling right now.
You got a guy like Will Griffith, like Will mentioned earlier, throws the ball downfield so much. How do you stay disciplined and not mentally kind of bite on those short routes?
Yeah, just practice, you know, doing your job, not trying to do too much, not trying to overthink it. You rep it as best you can all week during practice, and our guys go against good wide receivers, a good quarterback in practice, and so we try to simulate that as much as we can.
How has Desmond Nisby come along in practice, learning the playbook? Obviously, the game he had the other day, is he getting to a point where you think he could be more featured?
That was pretty featured the other day, wasn't it? We hope so. You know, he's got to continue to learn, continue to progress, and take it upon himself to learn some of the nuances of our offense, which he's in his first 5 games of it, and he'll get better. But he runs tough. He has great energy on the sideline. He loves to play the game, and so we'll find ways to get him the football and just continue to try and help him become more of a complete back.
Where are things at with Mason and Lonzel as far as ability, or I guess availability for this weekend?
We'll see. There'll be game time decisions, both those guys. So they won't practice today, and we'll kind of take it day by day.
Speaking of Mason, just kind of, it seemed like he really helped spring some of those runs in y'all in two-back sets on last Saturday.
He did. He's done a nice job blocking. Has a great role on special teams. Can catch the ball out of the backfield. So kind of been a jack of all trades for us, and proud of how far he's come.
What about Douglas Coleman? What's his status?
Same. We'll go day to day with him. Still working through that ankle.
The success that Nisby had the other day, the success that Justin had, as a play caller, do you kind of like I can do these things with this guy, these things with that guy?
Yeah, to an extent, but then you don't want to get one-dimensional where the defense knows, hey, every time he's in, he's running this type of run concept or pass, and whenever this guy's in, he's doing that. So I think you got to be careful walking that line, but definitely they have some strengths that you want to make sure are accentuated when you're calling plays.
Coach, you mentioned last year how West Virginia made you more one-dimensional. Is there anything else you've seen that have been consistent struggles against West Virginia over the last 3 or 4 years?
Yeah, I mean, they out-physicaled us. I guess 2014 we had a big lead. They came back and beat us. 15, dropped a couple touchdowns up there. Last year, you know, just didn't show up, got blown out. And so we know it'll be competitive. We know they're a tough team. They've had our number, and we've got to go up there and try to execute at a high level.
What did maybe Pat communicate to you? Because it seemed like the offense was not real prolific the last couple of years when y'all played West Virginia. What did it seem like they specifically did to give him trouble?
I think, you know, last year he was a little banged up, and then we just got behind and threw it every play, and that's what they want you to do. We were going down to score, I think, make it 10-10. We fumble inside our own 10, and they come down, make it 17-7, and then roll from there. So the key is to not be one-dimensional, not just drop back every snap and play into their hands.
How crucial was it with the running game last week then? Do you think you'll need it so much this week?
It was important to get it going after the previous week of not being able to establish it versus Oklahoma State. I didn't think we were physical enough, and those guys at Oklahoma State did a good job up front of slowing us down. So it opens up everything for us offensively. It allows us to get guys open in the back end that are talented players, and if we can't run it, they're going to drop everybody out of there and nobody will be open. So it's we know going in that's what we have to do, and we'll work to do that.
How would you compare West Virginia's defensive line to some of the others that you guys have faced this year?
I'm not big on comparisons. I mean, each week is different. Each game is different. Each team gets better as the season goes on. But they're a talented Big 12 defensive line. I mean, they've had success against everybody they've played.
What comes down to you about White, number 8, and Skew Henry, number 6? They're two of their DBs that really have played a lot of football for them.
Yeah, Skew Henry was hurt last year against us, but he's talented, pops out on film all over the place, real aggressive coming downhill. And then the same deal with White. They make a bunch of plays. They're flying around. They let them do some freelance stuff, chasing the football, and they have a nose for the ball.
The defensive line's been much improved this season, especially against the run. What stands out about Terrence Jamison? What has he brought to the team?
Yeah, I think just consistency in his approach. He's, he inherited a good group with some guys who had some experience, went through some bumps on the road last year, but grew up a lot. They're going into a lot of them their third year in Coach Gibbs' system with his terminology. And so I think Coach Jamison has a real calm about himself. He's the same every day, every practice, and it's helped those guys. They have good leadership, Taylor Nunez, Eli Howard, Roderick Washington, Big Mike, some veteran guys that have really taken a mature approach to the game this year.
Can you talk about the job that Dana's done there, and if you guys still talk quite a bit during the off season, keep in touch?
Yeah, we do. We don't talk as much as we used to. Obviously, when you play each other, it gets a little weird. But he's done a tremendous job. I mean, I thought last year he had a really good defense, so he played to their strength. And this year he's got a good offense, so he's opening up a little bit more. And got to be impressed with how hard they play. And can't say enough good things about him, what he's done there.
What does Zach say about playing his brother?
I have not brought that up. I have a feeling that they're going to be pretty fired up on game day, though.
How do you feel like Schumann has done through 5 years?
He's done well. He's done well. There's obviously room for improvement, and we expect this level at that position in that room. And there's a couple that he'd like to have back and a couple plays that we'd like to make. But, seeing it from his eyes and him growing each game and going through these different situations that he's never been in college football before, I thought he's handled it very well. And I expect the back half of this season for him just to get better and better. I think his best football is in front of him, and I think we'll continue to get better up front, which will help him.
Where has he improved the most so far this season?
I think just decision-making at the line of scrimmage. I think he's seeing the field good. If he has something, he's taking it. If not, he's getting us into the right runs. He's just really dictating what we do offensively, not letting the defense dictate, what we want to do.
Thoughts on breaking into the AP Top 25 this week, the first time in a number of years?
Yeah, that's y'all's deal. I just show up and coach football, so I don't have much to say on that.
Can you talk a little bit about Justice Parker? I know he's a guy who was a walk-on right now. He's sort of started to emerge. I guess, what do you like about him and just kind of the gritty nature that he brings?
Yeah, his story is pretty incredible. He was down there in Texas Lutheran in Seguin, Texas, and came up here and has worked really hard and started at the very bottom, earned every rep he's got, and to see him go out there and make plays, it's inspiring, really, because he had every reason to give up or quit, this, that, and the other, and he's kept fighting, kept battling, and then on game days he has a nose for the football. So really proud of him and how far he's come.
Of course, Texas Tech has a long history of having guys like that who are overlooked and want to achieve more. Does he kind of embody that spirit, would you say?
I think he does. I think he plays with a chip on his shoulder. He works out with a chip on his shoulder. You watch the way he carries himself out on the field. He will go up to any of our top star players and get that little extra shove or that little extra bump. He's not going to back down from anybody, and that's what you want out there.
2 more.
I believe there's 6 teams tied at 1-1 in the Big 12. Do you feel like there's more parity this year, more of an opportunity, possibly?
We'll see. There's a lot of really good teams still and a lot of games to play. I know it's kind of stacked to the top right now with some of those records, but it'll all play itself out. Just watching from afar, anybody can beat anybody this year, which makes it fun for the fans. The fact we have a championship game that 2 teams are going to get in now, I think that makes it exciting for players and fans that you're not going to be out of it till maybe late in November. So yeah, I think there could be more parity, and I think the Big 12 is playing at a high level. You look at how we did in the preseason or the non-conference, and some impressive wins out there.
So you're a fan of the Big 12 championship game then?
I like it. I think, like I said, as a coach, if you lose a game early in your conference schedule, that carrot's still out in front of you, which is exciting. You can possibly lose 2 games and still have a chance to play one of those teams for the championship. And I think it'll be great for the fans. It's great revenue for our conference, so I'm all for it.
I said it before, it helps everybody, not just myself. It helps the receivers, the offensive line, It just keeps the defense honest. They can't bring 3 and drop 8 into coverage. You know, they have to respect the run game. So, yeah, like I said, it really helps everybody, not just myself.
Nick, this West Virginia secondary has done a couple of safeties and played quite a bit of football, number 6, number 8. What stick out to you about those two guys on film?
You know, as far as their defense as a whole, they do a good job of mixing it up, bringing pressure in weird situations, and then, you know, showing pressure but actually bailing out. But, you know, like I've mentioned in the past, as long as we just execute what Kingsbury and Coach Morris and Coach B. Jones put in, you know, it's our job to go out there and do the right thing and execute, and then should put ourselves in a position to be successful.
Nick, what do you think they had success against y'all, their defense, the last couple of years? Seemed like gave Pat obviously more trouble than most teams did.
Yeah, going back to that, they just mixed it up really well. You know, at times they brought everybody they could and just manned up on the receivers, and then there was times where they brought the 2 or 3 down linemen and dropped 8, 9 dudes into coverage. So, you know, I think we got to do a good job of just taking what they give us, not trying to score a touchdown every play. Just execute, like I mentioned, execute what Coach Kingsbury implements this week, and we should be all right.
You got that fast start offensively against Kansas that seemed to escape you on a couple other games. Was there any difference that you noticed, or was it just kind of things you were working on following the plays?
Yeah, we put a little emphasis on that last week in practice. You know, we haven't started too fast. I think before last week, I don't think we had scored a touchdown or points regardless on the opening drive. So obviously that's the goal, is to score every time we touch it. So we knew we had to start fast. Like I said, that was a point of emphasis in practice, and I feel like we did that.
Nick, how challenging is it for new guys to come in and learn this offense? I mean, you've been here for 4 years now, but you sort of, like Nisby and some other guys, hey, you know, this is how you do this, and just sort of walk them through it and see it progress, you know, every week?
Yeah, I mean, it seems like it's easy, but at the same time, there's a lot of stuff that we do, a lot of stuff you got to know, but that also goes along with, if you're willing to put in the extra time watching the film, obviously that's going to speed up that learning phase. So yeah, I understand that everybody learns at a different pace, but at the same time, if you really wanted to learn it and buckle down and, you know, get multiple hours a week extra and studying the film, and I think you can get it pretty quick.
How far along has Nisby gone?
He's doing a lot better than week 1. You know, it's going to take time. It's tough for him right now because it's in season that he has to learn it. If it was spring or, you know, if he had the full summer, it'd be a little different. But since he's kind of having a game plan as well as learn some of the install stuff, you know, I feel like that might be the reason that it's taken him a little longer. But, you know, he's doing everything that he's asked to do, and keep using him on Saturday. So.
Nick, it seems like you guys have found a lot of success stretching the field horizontally, whether that be with sweeps or outside zone and that kind of stuff. What have you seen from offensive line, which how you guys have done, seems to do well lately on those kind of things?
Yeah, you know, I told y'all before the season that Coach Jones was going to have those guys. He was going to put those guys in a position to be successful as long as they did what they were taught, they were coached to do, and I feel like they've been doing that. You know, there's a few plays here and there, but I mean, everybody has those plays that we wish we could have back. But for the most part, you know, they've been great. It's fun to see those because a lot of those guys are young. It's good to see those guys bonding and gelling right now. Moving forward, it's only going to help us. So.
Those guys are obviously holding a lot more and doing that kind of stuff and running. How fun is it to see those guys kind of get out in space and watch?
Yeah, they're all pretty athletic. You know, Steele and Bruffy are very athletic at tackles, and Madison and Jack as well at the guard positions. They can all get out there, like you said, on screens and powers and stuff like that, and they can move around. So, like you said, it's fun being able to hand it off and watch those guys go get on somebody in the secondary. So.
Nick, where were you last night when the shooting happened, and what was going through your mind at that time?
Yeah, I was at my house watching the Vikings and Bears, and then obviously once the updates on Twitter started happening, I clicked it over to the news. But they did a great job texting us, making sure everybody was not on campus, making sure everybody stayed safe, and wherever you were, just find a secure place. Don't go out and try to be a hero, or don't go to the gas station or anything like that. Just find a spot, stay safe for the time being. And they'd let us know when everything calmed down, which they did. So, yeah, luckily I was at the house. I wasn't on campus. So.
Nick, what were you guys thinking on the sideline, maybe in the huddle, all the reviews, especially during the first and early second quarter Saturday? How did that affect your pace or tempo, or did it affect it?
No, I wouldn't say it affected it. Obviously, it made the first quarter seem like it lasted forever, but I feel like majority of the reviews happened whenever the defense was on the ball. So I guess, that'd be better than us being on the field. So they would be able to get a little breather, and we wouldn't have to, slow our pace down. So yeah, seemed like the first quarter lasted forever, but other than that, it was, it wasn't too serious.
Anything else?
Y'all seemed to be pretty excited when Colt got in. How did y'all feel about seeing him out there?
Yeah, that was awesome. He's a kid that just comes and works hard every day and does everything they ask him to do. And it was actually his first time to travel, so him getting a few reps, that was fun. That was a good time for all of us.
Hey Nick, there's been a lot of controversy and drama lately involving flag planting at Big 12 games. Is that something you'd ever see yourself doing?
No.
Not your style?
No, not my style.
I was actually at home doing some homework, and got a message on our Teamworks from our athletic department to take shelter and stay inside and make sure we're doing the right thing.
What jumps out to you about the West Virginia offense?
I'd say the explosive plays. The quarterback can get out the pocket and extend the play, and receivers are well trained. They turn it up and go downfield just like our offense does when our quarterbacks get out the pocket. So, they make a lot of plays, so we just have to limit the big play and make them drive the field.
Is it harder not with them having not one receiver that they can go to at any given time, but they've got three that have all got 100-yard games this season?
Yes. Just about every team has 3 or 4 receivers that can make plays. So, we'll prepare the same. I know they'll probably try to isolate us in slots more this week because I know their top 2 guys kind of move around from the inside to the outside a lot. So that's what we're thinking is going to happen this week.
What makes David Sills difficult as a wide receiver?
He's kind of a big body, but he also has some shiftiness to him. So, you just kind of gotta. It's hard to play him. It's hard to play him at press coverage. It's hard to play off because he can run around you and things. And he catches the ball very well, and the quarterback does a great job of getting it to him.
When's the last time you've seen a guy have a sequence like Justice did, where he picked up a fumble recovery for a touchdown, and on the next possession had a pick?
I don't know. I don't think I've ever seen it. I was kind of jealous of him, actually. So, I had a couple opportunities in the game as well, and I dropped my interception, and the fumble got overturned. So I was kind of joking with him on the sideline. I was like, should have been my play and things. But he's done a great job since fall camp started. Actually started in the spring. He had some big plays in the spring, and he's just been flying around. Probably has the most turnovers in practice out of everyone on the defense. So it was great to see him make some plays out there in the game.
Deshaun, as aggressively as you play, as much as you help in run support, is this week the challenge for you because they have top running back in Crawford, quarterback can keep plays alive. They have a couple of receivers who have been big play guys. Is it a good challenge for you to stay disciplined because they have so many, they can hurt you in so many different ways?
Yeah, you have to stay disciplined in any game, though. And I kind of got away from that this past week, which almost cost us a couple plays. The quarterback overthrew the ball early in the game, which I was trying to make a play instead of reading my keys, and the tight end got behind us. So that was bad. But, yeah, once the quarterback gets out of the pocket, we just have to lock on and stay on our man and make sure he crosses the line before we pull up and try to go tackle him this week.
So that play Saturday then, there was a pass down the middle to the tight end. You were supposed to, you should have been deeper there.
Yes, I was actually in the post, and he kind of looked off a little to the right, and I pulled too far that way, and the guy got behind me.
When you're up in a game by 20, 30 points in the second half, how do you keep that focus and intensity for kind of all 4 quarters, or however long you're in the game?
I mean, it's not hard, honestly, because, I mean, we expect to do good and to be up when we do our best. So once you get down to that time, it's just kind of one guys that don't get as many reps to be able to play. So you know you have to take care of your job so that they can get in and get a chance to make some plays. So we just stay focused and continue to punch at the ball and strip at the ball and try to get it out and get our offense some easy scores.